What's up, guys? It's DJ Pompey from No Coast. I'm here in Chicago, and we are gearing up for the Grand Finale 2 event in Columbia, Missouri this weekend. I'm battling a guy named Illab on day 2. Check that out. But we're here today because there is a new No Coast Top 20 fan ranking. And I'm not a huge voice guy, but I'm just going to run down the list and try and channel a few bars of each of these guys. You can try this at home, and I might give some advice at the end. All right, here we go. I eat every meal like my last death row wish. Punk snap, get touched back like an end zone kick. The lead don't miss on some retro shit, cause I let those kick from big drums like a techno hit. So much ammo, the extendo clip retrofitted with a Game Genie Nintendo Switch. Now let the bodies hit the floor. It ain't no emo song by Drowning Pool. Give them bucks under the table. They ain't holding me accountable. I'm Brandon Frazier with the razor. I don't know why, it just sounded cool, but meet me outside for that smoke like Pompey's house's rules. Face it, y'all, I'm devastating. He's number 2, basic, y'all, and nature calls. I'm defecating, that's second nature. I'm two-timing, got loose wiring, dude, try me if you aspire to imbibe food through a tiny tube in a room dying. I said it's 4-star rounds, and the 9 with a Magby. Once they together, show's over like Niles and Daphne. I keep on cooking them. Y'all know the recipe. Shredded cheese, lettuce, green, sesame, Lebanese, French cuisine. Fuck excuse. He's a computer programmer. There's not much funny about that. But I could easily infer he's unlikely to commit any violent acts. You're the biggest poser in Minnesota. We need to get this dude off the scene. I'll give him an atomic wedgie, then eat mom's spaghetti with the Blues hockey team. Shut up, fire truck.
Yo, shut up, fire truck.
Now you got Pompey versus human. That's honestly stupid. Pompey is human, but I'm probably a mutant. Peep the genres I'm fusing. You wanted the drama, now comically spewing your bodily fluid. And when the rest of my posse's engaged, the best of psychologists claim I go Jeffrey Dahmer insane. There's no etymological way you'd have a better, more popular name. Even legends are shocked and amazed. Tremendous cacophonies made with everybody. I'm etching a notch in your grave. I invented the rocket that sends Zeppelin Cochran to space. This kid's not a threat. I'll rip off your flesh. You didn't see the trouble you're in when you pissed off Wisconsin's best free beer. I say your woman crush Wednesday uses Ask Jeeves. You peaked matching your idols. I could keep scratching the vinyl with each hand on the Bible. Tell Pompey I only rematch for the title. Time. Astral projection. I said I drop science, get no credit like I'm ditching class. No rookie been this into man since it was Diggy Splash. And now your girl perking up cause she's into that. She wanting more of that nice guy cause we finished last. I'll leave your head where your neck should go, neck where your chest should go, arms back and shy and your legs clear of Mexico.
That is how the Klingon lures a mate.
Yeah, Pompey versus Ryan Nixon. That's a special attraction. We finally out to see who's the friendliest rapping. Then I realized the flaw of why this never should happen, cause if we're both in the ring, who's gonna give the reactions? I heard Pompey doesn't like how I'm writing my closers. How you feel about losing this fight to a hoser? Now see, that doesn't punch here because we're not familiar with the slang term hoser. Said I'm doing dirt. All my vids got reported content. Couldn't take off work for my PG, so I called in a bomb threat. If you're selling where I'm selling, best believe that I'm not stressed. I'll take a part meant I condo. That's a white boy with a complex. I said name is Ro. Don't even try to test me on my favorite shows. Thinking you number 1, you won't make it. So one neck pinch will send you to a logical fate. You'll direct on first contact. You Jonathan Frakes! I could kill you with any one of my 10 fingers. So if you show up at my front door, you're a dead ringer. And then I'm gonna eat you. Alright, that was fun. Really looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys in Columbia this weekend. So like I said, this top 20 was a fan ranking. That means we handpicked about 40 seasoned fans that we sent a survey. People from around the United States and a few from the UK even. As a footnote here, we did exclude a few kind of top tier people who have international careers. Loose Cypher, Nestle, Real Deal. We don't know how often often we'll be able to bring them back. So we didn't really feel like it was honest to rank them as active roster, but obviously they would rank high as well. So we averaged it all together. It came out how it did, and we'll be picking the next title contender from the top 5. The big question we get is, why aren't I, or why isn't my friend on the top 20 of the 43 eligible people? And, or if they are, why aren't they higher? So I'm going to try to answer that in a constructive way. I'm just trying to rationalize the opinion of the average season fan here, but I think there's a lot to be learned from their opinion. That's why we structured this the way that we did, instead of just selecting it ourselves. So the first thing is to understand the scope. How many people in how many cities are actually active in No Coast? Look into that. Be familiar with our catalog, and you can kind of see like how difficult these days it actually is to be a top 5, top 10, and even top 20 No Coast rapper. We got Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Chicago. We've done a Rockford event. St. Louis, Columbia, Missouri. We've done a Kansas City event, and we've got roster from all those places and many more cities that travel in. Standing out among all that might be harder than it looks. An attitude that I see a lot, and this is just pervasive in rap culture in general, is, man, why don't people understand how great I am? Why aren't I appreciated? Like if people don't know about you, or if they do know about you and don't rate you highly, that's like their fault, and they're the ones that would need to change. Like, that's a ridiculous attitude for an entertainer to have. And reading between the lines, you see that a lot in hip hop in general. The burden's kind of on you to be noticed, to get noticed and get rated. That means that you need to get in front of people, and when you're in front of people, you need to not waste their time. This is basic entertainment stuff. So, I mean, if you just apply that, you could get pretty far with why some people are underrated. Look at who is getting the recognition and what work have they put in to get that. If you're someone who's got 5 battles and maybe 2 or 3 of them are good at best, and you're thinking, hey, why is this person rated higher than me? And, you need to understand that they might have 20 battles. Like, I'm pretty sure that me, Rome's, Breakneck, XQZ, Shake, are all people that have 20 battles, and we had at least 10 before anyone cared who we were. And, in my case, no one still cares. So when people are getting more recognition than you, understand what they actually did to get it. Don't just look at them on a superficially and think, what do they have that I don't have? Another thing is, you might be thinking that your recognition in your local area, or even among your group of friends, should be equivalent to how you're recognized on a national and international level. That's delusional. You probably just aren't thinking about it that way, right? But this is not a ranking of the top 20 no coasters in St. Louis, or the top 20 in Chicago, or the top 20 in Minneapolis. It's overall. So if you're only known in one area, which maybe is because you've only been active in that area, you haven't traveled around, or maybe because you've only battled people from the local area, you shouldn't be surprised when you don't have that notoriety. I already discussed, just not having many battles. There's having a lot of weak battles, even with some good material. People expect that they can be evaluated on the best performance they've ever done, or maybe even the one they think they could do. I mean, if you're lucky, you'll be evaluated as the average of your last 4 performances. If someone's even seen them. If your average of your last 4, has just 2 battles where you didn't choke, I mean, don't expect you're going to be rated super high. Consistency is the key here, right? You can't waste people's time. I know how much work this is. I absolutely know. If you're going to do all that work, don't play yourself short, don't skimp on preparation. You see people taking too many battles, or battles they don't want. They're not really inspired for, but they feel like they just got to get their more notches on their belt. I mean, that works against people so often. Because if you're not inspired, you might just make a totally lousy performance, end up losing somebody you should have been able to stomp. And, when that could have been a time for you to prove yourself to get the opponent you want. So, man, you're battling yourself every performance. If you never give 100, you're never going to get the opponents you think you deserve. Don't be afraid to say no when it's just not the right time, you got stuff going on, or you're just not feeling the chemistry of the opponent, whatever. There are certainly people who would be ranked higher if they had more showings recently. Like, okay, so obviously G-Souldier and even Isaac Knox would be objectively higher rated than they're actually on the list. But there's kind of a what have you done for me lately thing. You survey a lot of people, like what's fresh in their mind, and they're, if you don't have a lot of high-profile appearances recently, at least ones we'd be familiar with, it speaks to your stock in the league. It just makes sense, Trim Forte put a lot of energy into going into Canada and stuff, and yeah, he deserves to be recognized for that. And what he's doing is gaining new fans. But if he's battling people we don't follow over there, then it's not going to be as relevant to us as if he were battling our friends over here. It's just common sense. That doesn't mean that it was the wrong decision. So if indeed it is your goal to get on this list, and I hope that it is, I know a lot of you do want to be, and I hope that you can appreciate what the people on this list have done to earn it. I'm very proud that there are probably about 30 no-coast rappers that I want to put in my top 10. And that wasn't true a year ago. I mean, the roster's expanded tremendously. So bottom line, we'd love to see more of you get the recognition that you deserve. That's why we do this. Get new fans, cross over to other leagues, whatever your goal might be. And I don't know everything about how to do that, but I do know you want to have a lot of good battles people actually watch. Peace.
I was calling rappers actors when I was a drama student. I'm just being honest, dude. Let's not get convoluted.